The Middle Kingdom is known as Egypt's classical era. It lasted around 400 years between the ages of 2050 BCE to 1650 BCE.
Mentuhotep II was considered the first pharaoh of the Middle Kingdom after he reunited Egypt and ended the First Intermediate Period. During his reign, he commissioned and encouraged many forms of art and architecture. His tomb contained painted limestone reliefs and depicted him as a god in the afterlife. Other pharaohs, such as Senusret I, commissioned large building projects to represent the power of the king and to show the wealth of the government. The Middle Kingdom was a time of artistic expression. Although common people did partake in art, pharaohs used it to honor the gods, reinforce their belief in an afterlife, and to remind the people of the life they had left here on earth. Pharaohs used art in their tombs or temples to reflect the power they had during their rule. Expression in various architecture techniques under different rulers were also used to express individuality in different districts in the Middle Kingdom.
Daily life in Middle Egypt was all about the reconstruction of the Old Kingdom's practices. Most men were farmers and builders, while women in Egypt would stay home and care for children, prepare and cook meals, as well as clean the house. The Nile played a huge part in the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. It provided food, transportation, and building materials. The Nile continues to be a primary source in the daily Egyptian life. Every class of Egyptian wore jewelry regardless of gender. During the Middle Kingdom, amethyst was the most popular gemstone. The upper class wore a variety of materials such as faience, gold, turquoise, lapis lazuli, and amethyst, similar to the bracelet featured below made of carnelian, lapis lazuli, and gold, while lower classes most often wore clay beads made from mud and shells from the Nile. Clothing in Egypt was basic linen cloth that was white and thin due to the environment and scorching hot temperatures. The most recognizable deity of the Middle Kingdom was Osiris, the god of Egypt's underworld. His key characteristics are his greenish skin and his signature crook and flail he holds closely to his chest. During the Middle Kingdom, Osiris took precedent as the most popular deity, surpassing even his father Amun for a while. Both he and Isis, his wife, gained a cult following in Abydos, where his body was presumably buried in the popular tale of his death and resurrection. The temple of Amun-Re at Karnak is a religious complex originally commissioned by the pharaoh Mentuhotep II. The temple was erected during the 11th dynasty to worship the gods Amun, Mut, and Montu in the city of Thebes, the nation's capital at the time. It was continually added upon by the pharaohs that followed well into the New Kingdom.
When diving into popular Egyptian art from the Middle Kingdom, many artifacts we see today were once sealed in tombs to further serve the dead in his or her afterlife. Here we see over 40 wooden Egyptian soldiers with helmets and cow-styled shields ready to defend the deceased, who was most likely someone of high importance in the afterlife, and a fully equipped wooden model boat with a crew, oars to row, and a mast to sail. Both of these models were meant to be important and useful in the afterlife. The statuette of Hippopotamus is a ceramic sculpture made with blue faience material. Created during the 11th dynasty, this sculpture was meant to represent the bluish water from the Nile River, as these animals were known for submerging themselves in water. It was even made to seem friendly but powerful to its size, as we see the flowers have been delicately painted along the body of the animal, which also is referencing the sun god Re, as the flowers are blooming then dying, showing the rise then death of the sun each day. A variety of artifacts have been found in tombs all across Egypt. This shows the dedication that citizens had to their rulers, whom they believed to be gods. These people were loyal to their gods even in death.